Hey mamas, and welcome back. I was going to do more decluttering today, but I am so excited about this craft. Now I'd love to have more time for crafting, but the truth is with 4 kids and 1 on the way, I just don't always have the time. I got this awesome idea from Bethany Bargain. This is an advent calendar where you could actually put things inside. I am so excited to assemble this and make it our own. It's something that I've been searching on actually for a few years now, and I just couldn't get myself to pay $50, $60 for an actual wooden calendar. That way I can make it our own. I could put tea bags in it and have tea time. We could discuss all about Advent. I could also do little treats, of course, or even little puzzles. I just felt like everything I found online for that price were super tiny little boxes where I couldn't fit the things that I wanted for all 4 kids in one. Unfortunately, I was not able to find 25 of these at the dollar store, but I was able to find these cute little treasure chests, and I'm so excited to show you what I'm gonna do with them. So first things first, make sure you actually lay out the boxes so you know in what way you want to lay them out and super glue them. I was going to start by painting them individually, but instead of doing that, I'm gonna save some time since I really do not want this to take forever. And I'm gonna go ahead and lay it out how I want it in the end, and I'm gonna super glue it all together, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paint if I have time, and if not, honestly, there's always another year for painting.
These boxes are not perfect. That's why I said to make sure you lay them out before so that you decrease the amount of space between the boxes. Now keep in mind you currently see the actual shapes cut out. Those will be facing inside, so you won't actually see any of the shapes. It'll be a closed box with little knobs on it. So don't worry about making them match at all. Just make sure you try different configurations to make sure that you actually like it the way it turns out. I also wanted to add my decorations on top to make sure that this is the configuration that'll work with the actual little white trees that I also got from the Dollar Tree. Now I want to keep each row together, so notice I removed them even though they're not glued. That way I was focused on getting each row glued together. Unfortunately though, my hot glue gun just did not cooperate. I felt like I kept needing to peel it off and then re-gluing it together. Hot glue just seemed to be cooling off so fast that it barely gave me any time to be able to work with it. It was also really hard to pump it, so I'm not sure if my glue gun is just getting old, but honestly it was just frustrating because it felt like it was taking much longer than it really should be taking. Once I put the 2 rows together and noticed that it didn't even stick, I knew I needed another solution besides using the hot glue gun. I did not have enough of this wood glue, so I ended up using this flex glue, which is really strong and really easy to use. I have used this flex glue for almost all types of materials, and it just works so well, including doorknobs that I didn't want to drill through the furniture. Notice the first attempt at putting these 2 rows together using this glue, and it all stayed together. I also use this glue in between the boxes so that when I press down, it actually pushes it in between the boxes to create a better seal. As I was working on gluing everything together, I also contemplated, once I assemble the advent calendar, to keep it on this board that it's currently sitting on and create a whole little village around it. But the truth is I could always do that another year, and I wasn't sure what the storage for it would look like if it's sitting on an actual base. I tend to do too many things in one project, so I knew I wanted this project to be simple. That way I could always add things to it, but it's hard to take away once you've gone all out and done so much to it. So the simplest way to approach this is to assemble it in the configuration that you like and then turn your boxes, add knobs to it, and call it a day. To go a little further, you could also add the numbers on it or go ahead and paint it. I decided to go ahead and paint it. The only reason I painted the front of the drawers white is so that the number actually shows a bit more and there's more of a contrast between the two. Learn from my mistake. Make sure you give it enough time to actually dry, because I attempted at gluing the actual little pearl knob on the front and it came off very quickly since it wasn't fully dried. In terms of numbering each of the boxes, I had 2 plans in mind. One of them was to paint on the numbers, which was a complete belly flop using my red paint, and the second attempt using a shimmery permanent marker, and that also didn't work well at all. It just, the shimmer wasn't showing and it wasn't working well. The marker just turned out looking really sloppy and it kind of looked gray. In order to make the white fronts match the actual clasps on the treasure chest, I decided to add some glitter glue that has a bit of gold in it, just so it all matches together. Definitely wait until these are dry to put the little bulb on. It'll stay much easier. And also know that you actually cannot use the side, which I was trying to. It doesn't fit back inside of the box. You have to use only the back side. I really liked how the gold glitter glue turned out on the top of the white paint because it really helped tie it in with the gold finishing touches of the treasure chests. And there you have it. Our simple advent calendar is done. I'll be adding some numbers at some point, but for now it is ready to go and be filled. Now I'm just super excited to take out all our Christmas stuff and start decorating for Christmas with the kids and start enjoying our Advent season and all our family traditions. If you enjoyed this DIY, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the like button so you can follow along for everything related to motherhood.